Doing an audio check. Check, check, everyone. Doing an audio check. I tested this unlisted. Let me know if it's working, if it's working, if it's not working, if you're annoyed by me asking if it's working. I am just doing a check. Sibilance, 1, 2. 1, 2, sibilance, sibilance. Check, sibilance, 1, 2. I think we're golden today. All right. Hello, hello, Singularity. We're doing the early edition to make sure that I got my sound working. So hello, hello to you, sir. So we'll be lining up the camera here. So hello to you, sir. Give me an old thumbs up if you can hear me all right. Awesome. That's what I like to hear. All right. So I will be back in a few minutes. I just need to grab a couple things, but I will be back in just a few. All right, doing a test, a level test, level test. We testing. Look at that A321. Thanks, sir. Welcome back. Good to see you. I haven't talked to you in a couple weeks. How's things going? Remind me, are you in California? Or are you in Phoenix? I can't remember. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So I'm starting a new job um in a couple weeks. Just something so I can start to finance this until I can monetize. But in the meantime, sweet, dude. Oh, in school, even better. Are we talking college? Are we talking high school? Are we talking, you know, the more the merrier in college? I mean, God, I was there, and I'll be going back in the fall. So, high school, nice, excellent. Well, from somebody who take a take a. I'm not going to get too much in advice, but when I was in high school, I didn't try very hard, and it was so much harder getting a scholarship. So I had to go to community college first. So my advice is do well in high school because it'll set you up for success with scholarships and everything else. So, anyways, that's my spiel. But anyways, California, they are. I might be doing that. So might head out there in the next day or a couple days. We'll see. Yeah, awesome. Well, you seem like a pretty sharp guy too. So uh, I won't say too much. Mom, Pip's lecturing me again. So we'll see what happens. So I got a couple weeks till work starts. So I'd like to go on another remote trip to either Phoenix, Las Vegas, maybe somewhere in Southern California. But I know a lot of people like to do Los Angeles, and so I might try a little more. Uh, One of the lesser appreciated airports because Los Angeles is pretty awesome. I mean, but there's so many other airports like John Wayne and Long Beach and Ontario and San Diego and Burbank. So, and that's just in California. I mean, I definitely want to get back to Las Vegas because Condor and Edelweiss and Eurowings are coming back in like another month or so. So, yeah, I actually really enjoyed John Wayne. Um, I had to park across the 405 in like one of their long-term parking garages to a plane spot just because there's not a whole lot because the airport literally sits right on 405. Um, and I don't know the FBOs that well, so that's probably where I'll go next time. But uh yeah, so that's kind of what the thought process is. Um I tried to go to Jackson Hole this weekend and it was snowing so much that I couldn't see anything, and the operations crews had put all the snow around the fencing, so they have these huge piles, so you can't really see anything. And then I got stuck, but a couple of strangers helped me out, and I have a four-wheel drive truck. It's just I hit an embankment, and there was so much snow up there that my front end just got stuck under it. So, uh, but there's Jackson Hole, and I was gonna go to Bozeman, but then it was just a bad weekend. Yeah. Uh, and I also left my luggage at home. So it was 5 a.m. when I left. So it was super early on Saturday. And I obviously was barely awake. I should have taken my energy drink. And I get to Jackson Hole and get stuck and everything. And then I turn around and I'm like, oh crap, my luggage isn't with me. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm going back home anyways. So cut my losses, I guess. Yeah, that was in my one of my finer moments. But anyways, so lesson learned. Uh, drink your coffee or get something in you before, so your brain is functioning, so you don't forget your luggage at home. I mean, it wasn't too bad. Obviously, the wasted money on gas, but it was like 600 miles round trip. So shake it off. At least I didn't go to Bozeman and then realize that, because that would have been extra awful. Welcome, welcome, welcome into Pip's Planespotting Live. And first off, thank you so much to everybody who liked the video earlier. Obviously, it's a great support to me to know people that like what I'm doing and cheering me on, and most importantly, love the aviation action. I was having a little conversation beforehand. Thought we'd try a little bit earlier, just testing the audio mic. So I was chatting with Singularity there. He's in school, which is great. He's not even paying attention to his teacher. He's paying attention to the live stream. And if that isn't a compliment, I don't know what is. But anyways, we did get a couple more inches of snow last night. It's a little warmer today, about 38.9 degrees when I left my truck here and stepped outside. So I still have my gloves and hat on, but overall, light winds, north flow today at Salt Lake City International Airport. And so looking at the forecast for the next several days, this may be one of the last times that you'll start to see entire snow cover on the mountains, because we're looking at temperatures in the lower to mid 40s over the next several days. So there's going to be a reduction in the snow pack and the snow cover. So we'll see what happens. But I thought this is my personal favorite side of the airport because you can see the skyline and more of the mountains here on this east side. So we obviously rotate between the east and west side, but wanted to give you one good view because I think the rest of the week is going to be a mix of rain and snow. So with that in mind, welcome in. And if you're new to the channel, encourage you to like and subscribe. We always put out a video. I always put out a video when we're going to be broadcasting. So that way you will know when and where we're going to be broadcasting. And I wanted to state for the record already, unless we have technical issues or I come up sick, we will be back doing 2 for Tuesday tomorrow. And we'll be broadcasting from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And then again from either 2 or 4 or 3 or 5. We'll figure out in the broadcast, but I know 9 to 11. I've never done a 9 to 11 before at the airport, so we'll try and do that. But yeah, I agree. Singularity, win-win, an absolute win-win. So I like it. Actually, it's, kind of relaxing just looking out and everything. Thanks for the likes. Welcome in. Thanks for joining the party. We'll be here until 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. So we just started, so about 2 hours, or 01Z. So that's 01 Zulu. We're trying to get people on the Zulu time. So that's what aviation professionals use, is Zulu time, because it's the same no matter where you go throughout the world. It is currently 23Z right now, but here in Utah, it's 23Z. Guess what time it is in London? It's 23Z. And in Russia, it's 23Z. So that's why aviation people and the aviation professionals like pilots, dispatchers, and flight attendants and whatnot, we all use Zulu time because it's a constant. So there's a little fact, and train yourself on Zulu time because it doesn't change. None of this daylight savings time stuff, which, by the way, is this Saturday into Sunday. So just an FYI, everyone, so you're not forgetting. Yeah, I don't know, Singularity, if you plan on doing want to do aviation full time, or your game plan is for a career. But yeah, if you're going to be a pilot or a flight dispatcher or anything in operations, you'll need to know Zulu time, which is always a bonus. Plus you can shoot the bull with the military because they go by Zulu time as well. So that's kind of a cool little thing, but they'll always go by Zulu. Good deal, man. Just here to help where I can. But yeah, it's always fun talking to the military boys. And while I'm while I'm on the advice kick, Singularity, I might as well tell you the best way to get your hours in, if you do want to be a pilot, is go into the military. It's a little rough at the beginning, but you'll thank me when you get out of the military and you're like, I don't have any debt. It was awesome. So yeah, just FYI. Got an inbound arrival. Looks like from Minneapolis. It's making its way onto runway 35 as we zoom out. Ah, yeah, I know how parents are, but it's a smart decision. But that's it's a decision I guess kind of goes as a family, but I always recommend it. It is tough, no question about it. But it's if you're looking for a way to broaden your horizon and serve the country and also serve your career, it's definitely a good option. So, my personal favorite branch that's the favorite is the Air Force because the Air Force, I don't, this is a joke, but I heard that Air Force really doesn't do anything. They are always the first ones to get air conditioning in the tents. So, yeah. So if you plus you get to deal with aviation a lot more. But all the branches are very cool. U.S. Coast Guard, Army, and it should be noted that all the branches have aviation in them as well. So it's just Air Force. You think about it, and it's like, oh, it's in the air. Yeah, I mean, I have a friend who's in the Air Reserves in Texas, and I hear what he does, and I said if I ever run for Congress, I'm gonna put a budget line item that says you guys can only order cheese pizza because pepperoni pizza is too cushy for them. That's a joke, of course. We're all about having here on Pip's Planespotting Live. Whoops. So Alaska 3326 headed to San Francisco on the Embraer 175. And we expect on the east side here, it'll be a lot more departures than arrivals. How ATC is doing things. We'll scroll back here. Looks like, is that a Hawker or a Dassault? Falcon? Waiting for takeoff as that CRJ 900 passes by on runway 35. Yeah, it looks like a Dassault. If you're new to the channel, say hi. We'd love to hear from you. I love making new friends and sharing aviation knowledge, and would love to have you subscribe as well. Just because by doing so, you'll know when where I'm going to be broadcasting next and when. Thanks for the like. Thank you so much. Welcome in. We're at Salt Lake City International Airport on the east side, watching east side operations today. And there, if you're just tuning in, you can see Salt Lake, downtown Salt Lake, the skyline, and the mountains right behind us. Salt Lake, downtown Salt Lake's just about a 10-minute train ride from the airport on the Trax light rail system, and is very easy to get around the city. Lewiston, Idaho. Well, welcome, man, his life. Lewiston, Idaho. Delta actually flies up there. It's a beautiful area, of course, in the wintertime, especially. So thanks for watching and enjoying the coverage here in the mountains. I do. I like to get up to Lewiston, Sun Valley. I haven't been to Sun Valley, and this is my home right now. This is my base, is Salt Lake. But I also want to go up to Sun Valley, and then Coeur d'Alene is I hear is like kind of like a Disneyland for outdoors, just nostalgic type of deal. But Spokane's not too far away either, so it's what, like 45 minutes an hour, Spokane. So do some plane spotting there too. But welcome in. I don't know if any of y'all saw, since my mic wasn't working yesterday, but I wanted to zoom in. I saw this. It's still hanging around. If I can scan a little bit here. I think it's to the right a little bit. Yep, there it is. So we had E6 Mercury yesterday and C-117. Looks like the C-117 is still hanging out there. And I've had a few requests to do live from Hill Air Force Base, which could be entertaining and interesting. So, hey, Lisa, thank you so much. Welcome in. Fond du Lac. I grew up in Chicago. Naperville, to be precise, but Wisconsin is a lovely neighbor to the north. And how can you go wrong with Wisconsin Dells? I mean, that's fun time. Yeah, Glowmaster, my friend. Usually, we'll see these every once in a while at Salt Lake because they'll do training runs. But I don't know if I have not seen too many of them at Hill. Hill is a base and a squadron. They've got a couple of squadrons of F-35, so they're yeah, they're into the heavy metal stuff. Well, thank you, Lisa. I like the scenery too. That's why I picked the east side here. The mountains are a little more plentiful, and I was telling Singularity that we are going to start to warm up in the mid 40s, so that snow may start to melt, and so I wanted to get as many times on the east side before it starts to melt. So it's got that Santa Claus kind of like wintertime look. So looking at Frontier, headed off to Denver, I want to say. Well, it depends if they put them in the penalty box or Las Vegas. Let's see which one this is. It's a Frontier, 2943 headed to Phoenix, so he will not be in the penalty box and looks like he's getting ready to depart right now on an A320 Airbus A320 Neo. Good day, Norfolk International Airport. Love it. Good day to you, sir. Alaska for 4 years. That I would love. Probably got tired of being cold. I was just thinking from being in Anchorage from like a plane spotting perspective. That was one of the few U.S. airports that that was able to handle the Antonov, like the 124 that got destroyed in their war in Ukraine. So 23:15 here today. 23 and 15. So temperature wise, 23 and 15. Or are we talking Zulu time? Either or, that's good. Because it is 23:15 Zulu. So I assume that's what we're talking about, but just wanted to make sure. Very cool. Yep. And the nice thing, Miss, is Norfolk International Airport. is Zulu time is the same anywhere in the world. So that's why we get people trying when we do the videos and we talk about it. Uh-oh, got an Airbus A330 coming up. But the Zulu time is same time everywhere. So it's 23:16 in Salt Lake, Los Angeles, Hawaii, Tokyo, London, and that's pretty cool. So that's why military usually, and I mentioned this Singularity, but yeah, military will use the Zulu time just because it's the same everywhere since they travel all over the world. So, and I love Norfolk. I have not yet been there yet to Planespot. I am a big fan of Norfolk, but I do want to get out to the East Coast and then also Richmond. I lived in Greensboro, North Carolina for about 3 months for an internship and loved it out there. Just never got over to the beach. So, and thank you so much for the likes and those who are just tuning in. A reminder that if you want to know when and where we'll be broadcasting next, subscribing is the best way because I'll put out a video, usually the night of or night before or the morning of, to let you know where we're going to be at. So, just a recommendation if you like what you're seeing. My name's Pip, by the way, and my background is in aviation. Right now, I'm not working for an airline, but my past experience, I was a dispatcher for both a regional airline and a mainline airline for 4 years, and then kind of took and resigned. I worked for a startup, so it was a lot going on at the time, and took a step back and so pursued some other things and looking at pursuing MBA school. I've already been accepted in the fall, but in the meantime, I wanted to try and start this so I could help people if they wanted to know more about flight dispatching or aviation or flying, or if they had questions like that. This is Delta 57 headed to Amsterdam on an Airbus A330. Up, up, and away. And for those who are just tuning in for the first time or not too busy, we have 3 wide body routes that Delta does. We go to London. Delta goes to London, Amsterdam, and Paris from Salt Lake City. And I'm hoping more in the future. So we take a little break here. Ah, look at you, Lisa. That's pretty awesome. Yes, you are exactly right. It is the world's busiest airport in August. I have not been to Oshkosh yet. I have a few friends who have, but I think to avoid the congestion, I will probably drive up and not fly up, and then maybe stay in Appleton or a little bit further away, or Fond du Lac, so that all the hotels don't get taken. Now, my sister still lives in the Chicago area, so maybe I'll just stay with her. But yes, Oshkosh is definitely on the list, and that's pretty awesome. You're so close. Do you go every year? Get you an arrival departure combo here with the Delta 737. Thanks for the like and subscribe. And see some new people jumping in here. Welcome in. My name's Pip, and this is Pip's Planespotting Live, and we'll be here till 6 p.m. or 01 Zulu. So we got another 90 minutes or so. So plenty of time to join in and conversation. At Delta 737-900 landing on runway 35. Meanwhile, this American is headed to Dallas, Fort Worth. Where's my homies from Dallas, Fort Worth, Infidel Firemen, and DFW Plane Spotter? A couple other good people from there. Yeah, this is 1456 on an Airbus A321, and welcome to everybody who just tuned in. My name's Pip, and we'll be on the air for the next 90 minutes, but you're currently looking at American 1456 headed to Dallas, Fort Worth, which is actually where I came from. So I worked for a regional at DFW called Envoy, and then took a job with a new airline. Now, so thanks for the likes. Appreciate it. I'm glad you're enjoying the coverage and conversation. Picked up a Southwest departure as well. We'll grab that one after American gets the clearance. The thumbs up. Landing gear lights are on. Looks like they're ready to roll. And if you're wondering about ATC chatter, I'm working on that. Funny enough, I usually use liveatc.net because I left my scanner at home. So I got to get a new scanner. But funny enough, the liveatc.net doesn't have anything for Salt Lake International Airport, which is kind of annoying. So I'm hoping we can change that. All right, man. Singularity, good to talk with you. Class about to end. And thanks, man. We'll talk to you soon. And we'll let you know when the next one it is. And most importantly, do good in school so that you can go to school tuition free. So we'll talk to you soon. And I'll let you know when I head out to Southern California. Appreciate it and take care. And American's got 1456 has got the green light. Headed to DFW. Safe travels to them on the A321. Headed to Dallas. Thanks for the likes and everybody tuning in. We're so pleased to have you. I'm Pip. And when I say we, it's actually just me. It's just, I hope that my dispatching buddies come and join me soon in the broadcast. Yep. The Dells is a fantastic place. Highly recommend. I agree with you 1000%, Lisa. Absolutely. This is Delta 2583, 737 MAX 8, headed to Los Angeles. Oh, nice. Very nice. Now, that's a good question, Lisa. Does Fond du Lac have any commercial service? Because I'm kind of familiar with where it's at, but I don't know. Because I know that Appleton has commercial service, obviously Green Bay, then Waukesha or Central Wisconsin Airport does. So I wonder if you just go to Waukesha. Or maybe you'll make the drive down to Madison or um, Milwaukee, which isn't too bad. That's the thing I like a lot about the Midwest. I miss Chicago because I grew up there for a number of reasons, but now that I'm really into aviation, you're only at most a 3-hour drive to a major airport in all directions. So that's pretty cool. 3, maybe 5 hours. I really love how the colors of Southwest just reflect and stand out off of the White Mountains. That's a pretty cool effect. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. Bottom of the hour, as we approach the bottom of the hour, this is Pip's Planespotting Live, as we've got a Delta connection departure on an Embraer 175. Safe travels to them. As we pan back, you can see downtown Salt Lake right there. We're at Salt Lake City International Airport on the high above it in the parking garage, level 5. And downtown Salt Lake is just a 10-minute drive or train ride on Trax Light Rail. And you can stay there and not have to worry about renting a car. So that's kind of a cool perk if you want to hang in downtown Salt Lake. For those who aren't too familiar with Salt Lake, we are actually where the camera's pointed. We are facing east. An old rule of thumb that people who live here like to say is the mountains face east. Now, in reality, they face both west and east. However, the mountains in the east are much closer and much constant. So we're looking southeast. And we're going to pan a little bit to, there we go. Looks like we've got a FedEx. No, United, excuse me. No, Frontier. Uh-oh, my eyesight is going. On an arrival to runway 35, because we are on a north flow today. Runway, the number, for those who aren't too familiar with aviation, that number, runway 35, that refers to the heading of the runway. So if you had a compass in your hand and you were standing on that runway and looking north, you would be approximately 350 degrees north. So just a little fun fact. So every runway you see has a number, and it's specific to that compass heading. Looks like we got a little break in the action. I'll scan across here and zoom in. We've got some general aviation hangars on the east side of the airport. So we'll zoom in on those. This, by the way, this is right here is one of the de-icing pads that when there's winter weather, that a lot of the non-Delta airlines will go to, like Southwest, JetBlue, and whatnot. So, you know what? I have not, but I didn't know that that was a possibility. Lisa, that's actually a pretty cool idea. I don't know if you have to be air traffic control or be certified for that, but I definitely have some aviation background. But I'm I'm honestly going to have to check that out, Lisa. Thank you so much. That's really cool. You got me all excited now. I will definitely consider it now. Yeah, here we are on the de-icing pad. So you look, so all along the far east side of the airport, you have general aviation hangars. So you've got, looks like a Gulfstream, another Gulfstream. Of course, the C-117 we saw earlier, some Cessna Citations. What is that sucker? That looks like another Gulfstream. Some Hawkers. There's a, looks like a Pilatus 12, PC-12. Chaotic Bean, it does look like a good day to dispatch from Salt Lake. That is correct, sir. You are absolutely right. So we're looking across the far east side to the General Aviation and United National or Utah National Guard. They've got their KC 135s. So yeah, that's the General Aviation side of the airport. Yeah, we had some snow last night, Chaotic Bean, only about 2-3 inches. And I wanted to broadcast on the east side today just because the temperatures are going to start to get in the middle 40s. So I don't know how much we have kind of this holiday winter, wonderland snow cover. We may start to see the mountains appear. So I wanted to get as much good backdrop as I could. That's got to be entertaining, Lisa. They just go one by one by one by one by one by one. We're talking about Oshkosh, Wisconsin. So that is a lot of fun. Well, now I'm definitely gonna look at those opportunities because I'll take off a couple days to volunteer. That's got to be a ton of fun. All right, so currently on the east side here, what we're looking at, we've got Delta 2055. Looks like they are in the penalty box going to Las Vegas, so they may be a few minutes delayed for flow control into Las Vegas. And looks like we've got an A330-900 headed to Paris. Looks a little delayed. Usually I don't see this departure this late, so I'll consider myself blessed and lucky. We've got an A330-900 getting ready to go to Paris. Lisa, all right, if you're offering, I will most definitely take you up on that offer. Free lodging. Free lodging. Does everybody else in the broadcast get free lodging too? Again, I am Pip's Planespotting live here. And we're here at Salt Lake City International Airport. If you're just tuning in for the first time, we encourage you to like and subscribe. Subscribing to the channel is the best way to know where we're going to be and when we're going to be, because I'll do a video the night before the day of or the morning of saying this is where we're going to be and when, so you can know when to catch us if you're able to. So looking at that A330, look at that. Okay, so it's always fun to see the comparison, but you see that A330 and it's inching up there on the A321, which is no small aircraft, but comparatively, I mean, that A330 is massive. That's a 900 series. So What up, infidel fireman? Dude, the mic's working today. I came here extra early and did a test check as we see this A220. Yeah, man. It's a good broadcast so far. It's like a 300 variant for the A220. Bet you that came from San Antonio. I'll just take a guess. Well, you came just in the nick of time because we got the A330-900 headed to Paris. Didn't think it would be here this late. It must have been delayed, so you're pretty lucky. So yeah, it's right behind the A321, headed to Las Vegas. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Feel free to say hi. Got to meet some great new people today, and I'm thrilled about that. Lisa, so nice to meet you. And didn't see Jamed, but hopefully he comes back from San Antonio. And Infidel Firemen's in Dallas, getting ready for class tonight, right? SNA? Good. See, you're on it. You're my guy, man. You're keeping track. John Wayne, Orange County. Surprised that they sent him on this side. They must have had a lot of traffic. Safe travels to the short flight down in Las Vegas. Hello to everybody who's tuning in. Happy Monday. Or if you're in the Pacific Rim, is it Tuesday yet in Australia and Tokyo? Wonder. Which, by the way, is another reason to keep Zulu time. Billy Bull, what is happening? Good to see you, man. Right on, Lacey. Yeah, so heading down to Milwaukee usually to fly. It's probably the best bet. I miss Midwest Airlines and the chocolate chip cookies, by the way. So maybe if I start an airline, I'll bring chocolate chip cookies back. Got a Learjet arriving on runway 34 right. Just passed by. I'm going to keep my eyes on that big old sexy A330-900. Okay, in Appleton, also a good choice. Thank you for the likes and subscribes. Tomorrow, Chaotic Bean, by the way, if you're tuned in, we are doing two for Tuesday again. So we're back doing two for Tuesday. Last week I had some stuff I had to take care of, so I couldn't really do the two for Tuesday. But tomorrow we'll be doing two for Tuesday. We're going to try and get here 9 to 11 tomorrow morning, and then either do 2 to 4, maybe like a late, like 4 to 6 or 5 to 7. We'll see. But I got to charge my laptop again, so I need at least a couple hours. So we'll figure out what that's going to be. But yeah, two for Tuesday is back as we look at Delta 220 on an A330 900 headed to Paris. James, what is happening? How is the world of de-icing in Pittsburgh? Last time I talked to you, my my camera got blown over, and I got blown over in Salt Lake. So that was the day before we got like that foot of snow a couple weeks ago. So sorry about that, man. We had a good conversation going. Well, so here's my question. As we look at this Cessna private jet land, here's my question, James. When you're de-icing and there's no snow, do you have like a set scheduled shift? And if there's no snow, you can just chill and read a book? Thanks, Billy Bull. And James, yeah, sorry, I didn't see that first question there, but yeah, no longer dispatching for now. Take a little break. I'm pursuing a couple things. Hopefully, build this channel up and go live streaming so we can travel and get out there to where we need to be, and because people like variety, right? On the other thing, I will be attending graduate school, MBA school in the fall. So I've already been accepted, and will probably be doing that. So I am going to be starting a new job in a couple weeks, and working for railroad just to get something to pay the bills until this takes off, right? But yeah, in the meantime, I'm doing this, and we'll be doing it. So I got a couple weeks to have a little more fun, and then the schedule will be adjusted a little bit just with the new job, but I'll still have plenty of time to do this. All right, Infidel, where's this one coming from? Because it's been pretty busy nonstop. I'm going to guess Jackson or Seattle. Seattle usually doesn't get the A319. So Jackson or Billings, I'll say. What? Another Orange County? Son of a gun. All right, that makes sense. Dang it. I'm losing my touch. If you're just tuning in, welcome. Feel free to say hi. We love, when I say we, it's a collective we. Love having you here to chat aviation, give you knowledge, and sure would appreciate a like if you're enjoying the coverage and the broadcast. We'll be here for another hour and 15 minutes, it looks like. Southwest arrival. Flew right by me. See, you got so much things. You're hired, Infidel Fireman. It's official. Like I said, I can only pay you free right now, but not so much dispatching, but hopefully, if I pass training and everything, I'll be an operator. So I won't say too much right now until it's okay, but hopefully, an operator of one of the rail lines. So, like a conductor, an engineer. We'll go with that. So, figured it was Denver, but I just want to be sure you were on it today, sir. You're my man. If we ever get back to DFW, if I ever do, then I'll bring you out, and then we'll kick like Oz Aviation to the curb. No, I'm just kidding. Or Epic Toast, or I'm kidding. But yeah, so I'll be an operator. So hopefully I won't get too addicted to blowing the horn too much. OKC, yeah, for sure. OKC is a good one. Or maybe even Love, even though it's like all Southwest, but they get a ton, and you probably know this, they get a ton of private coverage, private jets, because it's close to downtown Dallas for Love Field. All right, so your Congo line that's forming is starting with Delta 1094 right there on a 737-900. Then it's Embraer 175, 3575 headed to Billings. United on an A319 2627 headed to Chicago, my old home. Delta 3751 is behind them in a 175. And then we've got a UPS departure on this side. So UPS 2818 on a 757. Yeah, thanks, man. I honestly, Chaotic Bean, I would rather do this, but we haven't quite monetized it yet. We will, but kind of need a little startup money to get things going, and plus it's great benefits. So it's still undetermined. I would much rather be doing this. Let me put it that way, and I'll continue to do it as much as I can. But in the meantime, we'll just roll with it. Part of the stipulation of my MBA program too is that I have to have a full-time job, and I don't know if I don't know if they would take. Yeah, I'm a full-time plane spotter as a as a full-time job, so I was trying to play it safe there. Thank you, infidel firemen, staying on top of things. Yeah, James, I know that can definitely be the case where you're just hanging in the truck for hours at a time, but we appreciate you de-icers because without you, the plane would never be able to take off. So I'm ready for you. I'm ready to help you get your dispatch license done and in. And now you got some good aviation experience, so we'll get her done. Goodbye to warmer temperatures. We're going to warmer temperatures, that Phoenix departure on that 737-900. Heck yeah, dude. Yeah, it's very true. You're right, Chaotic Bean. And Lisa, the A330 is quite huge, for sure. Heading to Billings on this E175. And thanks for the like and tuning in. Appreciate your coverage and hanging with us. Iceman in the house, definitely. Absolutely. James, is that your nickname? Like your call sign, Iceman? Are you Val Kilmer? De-icing everything? Well done, Chaotic Bean. Well done. Oop. United Airlines headed to Chicago on that A319. If you're just joining us, we're at Salt Lake City International Airport. It's your first time viewing. I welcome you most heartily to Pip's Planespotting Live here at Salt Lake City International Airport. We're on the east side facing east. The camera is now pointed southeast to the beginning of runway 34 left. You're big as a fridge. Maybe we should call you like the fridge, like William Perry, like from the Bears. I mean, I'm a Chicago guy. All right. Infidel's starting to get on my nerves. He's calling for all these Congo lines too much. Nonstop. This is going to be our relationship, man. Killing me, Smalls. All right, so we've got UPS in front of, I think, 3751, headed to Albuquerque. We also have the arrival there from Scottsdale. So that is a Bombardier Challenger on a NetJets 350 Challenger. Yeah, you certainly do, man. I mean, I like it busy too, but just give me a break so I can catch my breath here. 3837 is behind. Well, I should say Delta 3789 is behind the UPS. And then we got another E175. And then I've got a Boeing 737 700, 2176 Southwest 2176 headed to Dallas. I would love some cookies, Lisa. That would be outstanding. God, you're saying all the right things. I'm blushing. That is outstanding. Cookies would be awesome, actually. That sounds really good. Hopefully, I'm trying to get a technician from one of the airlines around here to come up one day and answer some questions and just hang out. And he's a buddy of mine. So hopefully I can do that. And eventually, I was talking to one of my pilot buddies, and I said, we got to do something together live. First Officer Mark, if you've seen that dispatch video, if we end up being in the same city for one of his overnights. So he was totally open to that. Oh, good question, James. To answer your question, no. There is, okay, so I should rephrase that. So if you do a missed approach and you fly runway heading, no. But if you were to do like a right turn, you would need to have special clearance because, as you can see, the mountains are fairly close. But if ATC were to say fly runway heading, you would be fine. So that's a good question. What? Concorde? Crumble. Good choice. Yeah. Oh, see, that sounds good too. I just need an oven right here. I was actually telling somebody about Crumble. So there's Crumble and there's Crave cookies. So there's like a battle here in Utah. But yeah, Crumble's like kind of the leader. Ah, that guy must be empty because there's no way that 757 should have taken off that early. He must have just emptied his cargo. You're right. It is a 757, but that's pretty dang quick, Nova Corps. It's got some serious power. You're absolutely right. But even that, I was like, he just took off in like 4,000 feet. That's crazy. So he must have been pretty light. One of my favorite planes, my two favorite are the A220 and the Dreamliner 787. But I also really like the 757. Maybe Flowers, that could be too. 57. One of the things you may not know is that the flight deck, the cockpit, that is where, so there are two jump seats in the 757, and one of the seats is like a captain's chair. So you actually sit in this elevated chair that has armrests, and you sit right over the captain's left shoulder. So it's really cool. You can kind of see everything, and it's elevated. So it's pretty cool. So I was really fortunate. I got to do that once, headed to Las Vegas, but it's not too often you get to fly them. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Still got an hour left of this wonderful pit plane spotting coverage live. And then if you're new to the channel, we encourage you to like and subscribe. Subscribing is the best way to know about when and where we're going to be broadcasting. I will still put out a video tonight if I remember, in the morning that we'll be doing 2 for Tuesday tomorrow. We'll start out 9 to 11. And I won't tell you which side we're going to broadcast from, so we'll keep that a surprise. But we'll do 9 to 11, and then maybe either, depending on how it goes, we may do like, we could do anything like 2 to 4, 3 to 5. But I like 1 to 3 because the heavy arrivals occur at that time. So we'll see. Yeah, absolutely. It's a ton of fun, Infidel. I definitely recommend it. Yeah, that's an excellent. Never have not done the 747 yet, so I'll have to wait to do that. I got to become a crew member again. So yeah, I hear they're quite spacious. I've seen photos of my fellow dispatchers flying them, especially yeah, like a UPS 747 run. Nice. Welcome back, Singularity. I appreciate it. Good to see you. How you're the man. Well, thanks, Adam. I agree. It is some great scenery, which I wanted to do the east side. I was telling people earlier in the broadcast that it's about 38, 39 degrees, but we're going to have some warmer temperatures on the way. And so I don't know how much longer we're going to have the nostalgic snow-covered mountains. So that's kind of why I want to do the east side. So thanks for tuning in, man. Always good to see you. Australia, 11 a.m. on a Tuesday. Well, thanks for tuning in, Adam. Wonderful to hear you from Australia. And I'll make sure to put in a video where we're going to be broadcasting next. And have a great day in Australia and doing your errands. Next jet. Hey, bud. Good to see you. Haven't seen you, I think, in a week or so. Great to see you. 737 2176. Southwest flight headed to Dallas. Leslie, Hendersonville, Tennessee. All right. Welcome aboard. Thanks for saying hi. I love Tennessee. I just have to know, Leslie, are you the only 10 I see? Okay. I'll stick to aviation commentary. But I hope that didn't scare you away. Nashville's a great airport, and they're going through a huge renovation. So look forward to touring that when it's done. I'm sorry. I couldn't help. I couldn't help it. Hey, you're not going to get those kind of bad jokes anywhere else. That's all I'm going to say. All right. So your Congo line's done, Infidel. I've done my work for today. All right. Looking at our inbounds, we're located on the east side. So our runways are going to be runway 35 and runway 34 left. We've got a 525 citation CJ2. So a tiny little bird inbound. It's about to land. And then it looks like we got a little break, which is typically what we'll have in the 5 o'clock hour. We are expecting a lot of departures, though, on this runway. So departure wise, got homework, man. Yeah, dad joke tour, dad joke hour. I'll definitely go with that. All right, Singularity, do your homework. I expect scholarship and everything, man. Slam a dunks, slam dunks, sir. So we'll be back tomorrow unless the equipment blows up or I get really sick. So we'll do the 2 for Tuesday, and so I'll put the videos out. But get that homework done, and then it's done. It's over with. And that's what I always try to do, and then I could veg the rest of the night. So take care, sir. Looking at departures for the next hour, expecting to see Delta 1396 on a 737-900 shortly. We just saw Dallas Southwest 2176 depart for us. Should have Delta 50 on an A330 headed to London. They usually tend to route it that way to our east side. So we can look forward to that. Yes, James, they were thinking of moving to Nashville. And I can't remember what scuttled it, but they are committed to South Florida for the meantime. Yeah, and as far as the JetBlue Spirit merger, I agree with your opinion. I don't know that it's going to pass. If I would have stuck with the Frontier bid. I mean, I know it's all about shareholder value and whatnot, but I remember sitting in the office when I was, before I resigned, I was like, that makes no sense. Frontier, they should do Frontier like all day long. So don't get that one quite right. So yeah, in the next half hour, let's see where everybody is. Looking at my radar. My personal favorite app is, oh, look, they routed Minneapolis to the west side, so maybe not. I guess we'll just wait and see. I never know. So nice. Well, I'm glad your mom subscribed to the channel too. That's pretty awesome. Very cool. I think that's one of the cool things about aviation and me talking about aviation and just aviation in general. Obviously, I think there are people of all ages who love it. So, high schoolers, teens, all the way up to, 70, 80 years old. So it's pretty cool. So I'm really grateful for that. This was never on my radar for some reason. I don't know why. I always loved going to Chicago O'Hare when I grew up, but this was never on my radar, like gaining a career in aviation. I did for when I was 21, 22, still going to college. I thought about being a pilot, but just money wise, being an instructor, it's a lot. But then here we go, 15 years later, and I absolutely loved it. Being a dispatcher and being a part of that. So yeah, it makes a huge difference. Tomorrow will be on, barring sickness or an explosion of my equipment. We'll be on 9 a.m. tomorrow if you're just tuning in. And thank you so much for subscribing and for you new viewers out there. It's awesome to see. JetBlue 68. JetBlue, sorry about that. JetBlue 6872 is headed our way. A320 going to JFK. Should be showing shortly. Yeah, very nice, Lisa. Louisville is on the to-do list of places to go. So I've been to about 50 airports. So you'll see in my channel, I have about close to 50 videos from airport plane spotting. Not live. I just started. This is our is it the 16th broadcast, Infidel Firemen, 15th or 16th broadcast? But been to quite a few airports. It's hard to believe. So Louisville's definitely on the list. Pre-calc. Excellent question. That is an excellent question. I don't know. I never touched it. I stayed away from that. I stayed away from that, like as much as possible. However, uh, I'm gonna have to do stats for my MBA, and like I'm already freaking out about it. Yeah, math was not my forte. I stuck with the basic algebra, so I'm kind of stressing stats. So hopefully there'll be a pretty girl in the class that can kind of distract me, or at least can help tutor me. So it's a win-win. But yeah, not looking forward to that. So I did some looking. I know Dalton knows this, and but some we've got some new viewers, and Salt Lake's my home base, so we're always going to have a place here. But the Eurowings Discover is coming back for another year on the A330, so that'll be Memorial Day weekend, by the way. And also expecting KLM to come back for the summer seasonal service. So speaking of which, I think I will do my civic duty and email the airport and ask them to bring back more international service and make it permanent because Delta is a SkyTeam hub, and this is a hub for Delta here in Salt Lake City. We look at JetBlue 6875 headed to JFK, the Big Apple, New York City. My strength in school was always science, so meteorology, and geography and math, geography and maps and social studies. So go figure. Wow, what a natural fit flight dispatching would be because you're like doing geography, you're doing weather, you're part mechanic, you know, a little bit mechanic, a little technical knowledge. So yeah, Lisa, it is. I'm gonna miss the snow. It's been a great year for snow in Salt Lake. In fact, so much so that they've already started letting the dam release some water from the dams. Because basically, how water coverage works in Utah is you have, within the mountains, there's a lot of dams that were built. So the winter runoff from all the snow is predominantly part of our water supply. So the dams in the valleys, take the runoff, and then that's how Salt Lake and the Wasatch Front get a lot of our water. So we've done so well on snow this year that they've already started to have to release the dams into into the into the Salt Lake, into the metro area. There we go. But it is quite beautiful. So we take a look towards the head towards the northeast. There's downtown Salt Lake. Zoom in on that a little bit. Aloha. Aloha. One of my favorite places, Hawaii. Have not been to Maui yet. I did go to Oahu though. But all of the Hawaiian islands are definitely on my list. And by the way, speaking of Hawaiian islands, I love shrimp. And I love when they catch it like right out of the ocean and then they cook it in their trucks. It's just delicious. And who can forget the pineapple? I mean, come on. It's probably a good time to go to Hawaii too. Not too expensive, not peak travel season. I will definitely do that. If I can get the funds together or make some miles, I will definitely do that. Thank you. And then we'd love to broadcast live from, um, is it Lahui? That's the airport for Maui? Or is it Kona? Or is it Kalui? OGG. No! Are you kidding me? All right, you got to do a live broadcast. Infidel Fireman, it's all you. I expect to see a live broadcast from Hawaii. Kalui. Okay. Love it. It's a family affair. This is a family show now. The camera is currently pointed southeast. Beach spotting works too, so I'll expect a video. I'm so jealous. You're the man. You are the man. See a Beechcraft B1900 Alpine Express. Okay. NextJet's mom. Awesome. Very cool. See, this is awesome. We got a whole family affair thing going on. I love that. I'm totally geeked out by that. NextJet, you're a great seller, man. You need to be my marketing guy. PG stories, of course. This is a family show. Alpine Air Express cargo right there. Taking off. I think they're headed to Idaho Falls. Bold move, Infidel. Bold move. They are quite beautiful. There's no place I think that's more beautiful with backdrop with aviation, and then yes, I know you do. You are a humor man. No place more beautiful than that skyline and the mountains in the background. So I agree wholeheartedly. Take a look at that for a second. Just a reminder, if you're just tuning in, we encourage you to like and subscribe. If you subscribe, that way you'll get a notification of when we're going to be broadcasting, where and when we're going to be broadcasting. So encourage you to do that. In the meantime, I do have 2 inbounds headed to runway 34 left. That should be here in the next 5 minutes. Coming in from Atlanta, 321, and then also Delta 561 from Orlando on an A321. When the snow starts to melt, I probably will head down to Provo because, well, thank you so much for stopping in. Wonderful to see you. We hope that you come back again. I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere. So thanks so much for saying hi. Awesome. Well, I'm certainly glad to hear that. Well, take care and have a good afternoon, and we'll see you again. Thank you so much. That was the first arrival from Atlanta, and then Delta 561 should be popping up here shortly. typically on like peak hours, when you look at the major airports, there's usually about 45 seconds to a minute ATC, especially for like Chicago, Atlanta, DFW. Thank you. I will do my best. But typically there's, about 45 seconds to a minute between each uh, arrival. And one of the reasons is uh, the wake eddies, the eddies. Got to have that spacing or else they're going to get slapped like I did one time. Came behind a MD-11 and I was an Embraer 145, and on our way into Memphis we got slapped hard by the wake turbulence. Thanks for the like. Welcome into the new viewers. This is wonderful to see, and I'm so glad you could join us here in Salt Lake City as we just saw Delta 561 arrive from Orlando MCO. Thank you so much. I am Pip. So you can see the view of downtown Salt Lake. I think you hit a fart machine at a. That's great. All right. United United 573 will be on runway 34 right shortly. Behind them looks like a Dassault Falcon 900, and behind them will be Spirit 1790 from MCO. I don't see Spirit that often, so I'm excited. Yep, and the University of Utah. I will be a running Ute, Max, come fall in MBA school unless BYU gives me a bunch of money. So I am, I'll be a running Ute come fall. I was supposed to actually start, to be truthful, I was supposed to start school this semester in the spring, but I got super sick with COVID and you got to attend class. So I had to defer to the fall. So that's actually, yeah. Oh, nice, dude. Congrats. That's awesome. So yeah, I was supposed to start in the spring, but actually due to COVID, I got super sick, but it kind of works out because I'm trying to get in-state tuition at the U is a bit challenging. So this actually gives me more time to get that taken care of. So it actually worked out. Plus I had a lot more free time to do this. So win-win. So awesome, Max. Congratulations. Will you be an undergrad graduating, or are we looking at a graduate degree, sir? Graduate degree, Master of Arts. Awesome. Well, congratulations. Sounds like a great couple, Lisa. You and your husband. Graduate degree, Masters of Arts. So, what are you going to do? What's kind of the game plan, Max? What are you thinking on that one? Because hopefully, with my MBA, I was hoping to eventually go into like airline scheduling and finance and planning, and then eventually become like, I don't know, president or vice president of operations one day, hopefully. That's kind of what my thought process is. But as you know, life never works out like it does, should work out. So it's kind of up in the air, but that's the plan. And thanks for you, each one of you who are tuning it in. That is, we'll be on the air for about another 40 minutes or so. And then we'll be back with 2 for Tuesday tomorrow, beginning unless my computer blows up or I get sick. We will be here 9 a.m. tomorrow for 2 for Tuesday. And basically, what that means is 2 for Tuesday or a Tuesday twin spin. I also used to be in radio. That's a double shot of plane spotting action. So we'll do some in the morning and then we'll do some in the afternoon. So 4 hours total tomorrow, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon. So when you hear Tuesday twin spin, that's what it means. So as we look at the Dassault Falcon, thank you, Novacor, for specifying on that. Latin American Studies, all right. Foreign Service, State Department, maybe the State Department. Yeah, pretty sharp, man. Nice livery. Well, that's awesome, Max. Maybe we can be best buds, and when my airline will fly international, you can help me out get the approval for that. Win-win. Boom. Graduate school making connections. The very top of the screen, that's not an error. That's actually the cloud cover. I just wanted to specify that off of the mountains. So just so you're aware. Thanks for everybody tuning in. I am Pip. Pleased to meet your acquaintance. And there is our yellow bird. Happy to see the Spirit A320 Neo. Amen, Max. Amen. And honestly, Max, as you know, with all the snow we've had this year, it's been kind of nice because we haven't had a ton of inversions, thankfully, which is my least favorite thing about Salt Lake. Hate it above everything else. So, yeah, we've been really fortunate this year. Amen to that. I will take this year any day. I will take the snow over the inversion any day. All right. Keeping the arrivals coming. Looks like we've got a Gulfstream G200 headed our way. They look like they're headed to runway 35, so on the far east end of the field. Then we've got 34 right, United 4754. And behind them, it appears, we have UPS. Uh-oh. Chaotic Bean, is it an MD-11? Is it? Is it? No, I'm sorry. It's a 767. Sorry. Maybe tomorrow. There's that G200 in the distance. I'll go back to working the camera. For those who just tuned in, hello. My name's Pip. Feel free to say hi. Glad to meet your acquaintance and glad you to be a part of Pip's Planespotting Live. Salt Lake is our home base, but we also do remote broadcasts as well. We were in Las Vegas a few weeks ago in Phoenix, and we're probably going to go back there next week if I can get some funds together and head down and do a live broadcast. Love technology. So G200. We'll keep an eye out for that United Express and that UPS arrival shortly. Coming from the south here. And if you're new, not too familiar with the Salt Lake topography, the mountains always face east, right, Max? Mountains always face east. So we are looking southeast. Yep, you know it. Is that United Express inbound? You know what? You're probably right on that, Novacore. I was I was wondering when that was going to start because with all the snow, and I was talking to an old friend. She loves to do skiing. I was like, "Hey, you need to be careful. There's been so much snow that you got to be watch out for avalanche control and avalanches." So, Antelope Island, good choice. Good choice, Max. I actually got to fly Breeze one time. They fly out of Provo, and arriving from the north, you look to the east, and you see the mountains. You see Mount Timpanogos, but then you also fly over Utah Lake, which is super cool, especially at sunset. So, good choice. Bobag, hello to you, sir. Welcome in. Thanks for saying hi. I see our London departure coming this way. So we'll have our UPS flight inbound. Then we see Delta 2977 on an A319 getting close to the threshold. Ah, very cool. Well, awesome, man. It is 38 degrees. 38 degrees, or I would say probably 2 degrees Celsius. So chilly. And we had some snow overnight, just a couple inches, but it's been a good year for snow. Not too much. We're just getting an arrival on the UPS 767. And that 767 wide body brought to you by Infidel's mom. Oh, that's my favorite joke. Downtown Salt Lake. Jazz are out of town and are out of town for like 2 weeks. So this is definitely the most action you're going to see on the airwaves right here on Pip's Planespotting Live. Your dad works for UPS. That's awesome. What does he do for UPS? Is he a driver? Is he a pilot? Or I would definitely like to work for UPS in the operations department for sure. There's our London flight on our A330 for Delta, getting ready to take off on their transatlantic journey. But in front of them is Delta 2977, a driver. Excellent. Well, thank you. Tell them thank you from Pip because my packages are always on time and in great shape when they come from UPS. I live here in Salt Lake, not too far away, about 20 minutes away in Murray. Actually, yeah, about 20 minutes. So just south. Nice, man. Well, right now, this is the only thing I'm doing. I will be working soon within UTA in a couple weeks in their offices and doing some work with the trains. But that's pretty cool. Yep, pretty cool. So I'd rather be doing this. I think everybody knows I'd rather be doing this. But Liverpool, Stephen, thank you so much for saying hello and a good evening to you, sir. Liverpool, England. Uh, thank you, Sergeant Peppers. An awesome city. I've never been to England, Stephen, so I will be there. Yeah, Bobag, I am at the airport. I am on the parking garage, so I'm facing the eastern part, and this is London flight, Delta flight. I want to say, I'll just make up a number, but this one's headed to London. Sorry, an A330, an Airbus A330, 300. And Max, the new Salt Lake terminal. Oh boy, this will be a mixed review. Safe travels to London. Infidel Fireman, I needed you, man. I needed you. Yeah, exactly, Max. You knew what I was gonna say. You knew exactly knew what I was gonna say. It's to the point where like Max, where it's do you pay more to fly Delta, or do you get your steps in to pay a little less? So, oh my gosh, that number. Oh, I know for a fact that the so when you go from concourse A through the down the escalator to the underground walkway and up to concourse B, all right, man, wifey called. Good for you. Take care of the wife. Hey, have a good time at class tonight, and I'll be back in tomorrow. Oh yeah, we'll be back 9 a.m. tomorrow. And Infidel, you know you can always hit me up if you have any questions or anybody else. Instagram handle is 23. The number is 23. The letter R Productions. So 23R Productions. Yeah, Max. Yeah. Was it like? It's at least a half mile through the underground walkway, and I usually will fly Southwest too. I have a ton of points with them, so it's kind of like, okay, well, here we go. Um, you know they have those bags that are remote controlled. Oh, okay, I got you, Infidel. That's right. You tell her. You tell her I'm helping Pip. I'm busy right now. I can't help. So Max, yes. I think that's probably why I've lost weight is because I've flown so many times on Southwest. So, which I think is really what Salt Lake is really trying to do is saying we need to lose weight. So we're just going to make the terminals, the concourses so far apart that everybody gets exercise. So, Robert, hello, my friend. Thanks for saying hi. San Francisco, love it. One of the great airports. And that's where we need to go too. Uh, we'll be live tomorrow next. And subscribe, Bubag, because that way I put out a video the night before the morning of letting you know where we're going to be. So tomorrow, I can tell you now, though, beginning at 9 a.m., if I remember to set my alarm, we will be broadcasting from here at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, or let's see, Zulu 3 plus 8, so 6, 16Z. 16Z. Lisa, I last lived in Chicago, and I don't remember the radio show. I usually listen to Eric and Kathy in the mornings in Chicago on Mix 101.9. Last lived in Chicago in 2016. 2016. So yeah. Thanks for the likes and subscribing, and don't be afraid to say hi. Just about a half hour left in the broadcast, 25 minutes or so. It is, Stephen. I'm so glad that you agree. That's usually the number one compliment that I get when we do the live stream, Stephen, is how great Salt Lake looks in the mountains with the mountains and the snow in the background. And I wholeheartedly agree, which is actually one of the reasons why I wanted to do it, is because the scenery. So that's awesome, Bobag, that your uncle works at the rental cars. Maybe you can get us a discount. That would be sweet. But yes, Stephen, here is downtown Salt Lake. And the nice thing is that the mountains are literally right there. So if you ever want to go skiing in Park City, they're just on the other side of the mountains. It's about a 30-minute drive via a rental car or shuttle with good traffic. So yeah, about 30, 35 minutes and you're there in Park City. But if you want to go hiking, lots of people go hiking, of course, in Utah. But the mountains are right there, and then you've got the city right there. So it really works out well. Next up, Delta 737-900. We are on a north flow today, so that means the arrivals are coming from the south, and they are pointed north when they land. So that's why when we say, again, runway 34 right, that is the heading of the runway. That is correct, Novacore. That is exactly why. Smart man or woman. I don't know, that could be either. But you're exactly right. We do have a light wind out of the north. And speaking of meteorological conditions, I can never say that word. Got a little wind out of the north. All right, Infidel Fireman. Any plans to do this at night? Maybe when it gets warmer? Yes. Yeah, that is definitely the plan. Also, because KLM typically will come in like around 6:57 o'clock too in the summertime. So we'll see. I'll have to bundle up and put on my coveralls if we're going to do a night broadcast and try that out as well. The other thing too, Infidel Fireman, is the camera doesn't do so great. The R7 is great during the daylight, but it can be suspect at night. It's okay for video coverage, so we may try it out. It's worth a shot. But speaking of Infidel Firemen, I and the wind, since Novacore brought it up, it's probably because the winds are from the north. I'm going to quiz Infidel Fireman right now on the broadcast, and I'm going to quiz him and see if he can pull up the latest METAR for Salt Lake City International Airport. And I would like him to tell me what the latest current conditions at Salt Lake International Airport are. And I will read along with you. So let's see how his dispatch skills are coming along since he is in class for dispatching. So I've got the METAR in front of me. So let's see if Infidel can give me a METAR report. And if you aren't familiar with what a METAR report is, well, he is looking that up. METAR report, for those new, it's what pilots and dispatchers look off of to get the current weather conditions. Okay. So if I'm a dispatcher or a pilot, And if you have the pilot, for example, he can pull up the METAR in his computer and the flight deck. That's why you always hear him say, current conditions at Salt Lake City are we've got sunny skies, light winds out of the north, and temperature of 15 degrees Celsius and 61 degrees Fahrenheit. So thanks for joining the flight. And that's what they do. They always get the broadcasts, and that's what's called a METAR. Your current conditions in the aviation world that are updated each hour and are reported are called a METAR, or a meteorological observation. So from AWOS or ASOS that you'll see. So let's see if Infidel Fireman can bring it home. I'll give him a few minutes. Coming in the screen was Frontier. I have not been to Hawaii yet. Frontier A320neo headed to Denver. Sun's been setting here about, we can't see it today from the west side, so the cloud cover, but a little after 6, call it 6:20. Nice. That's awesome, Novacor. Excellent. So you just be doing it out of Ogden Hinckley Airport? I am not. I am not in the tower. Very cool, Novacor. That's a great option. Great option. I do not have my pilot's license. I have my dispatcher license, but excellent choice, sir. I still have to save up a little bit of money for the pilot's license. It's actually just me. It's just me, Babag, just recording myself. And so, yeah, technology is cool. And I actually used to be a journalist, so I'm kind of used to this, of talking and doing video and radio production. So, yeah. And then I transitioned to being a flight dispatcher. So, all right, Infidel, you still there? Checking out the METAR for Salt Lake? That's as far as I can zoom out, Babag. All right, I'll give Infidel Fireman 60 more seconds, and then I'll read him the METAR. I'll give the METAR. Delta connection flight on an Embraer E175 approaching runway 34 right. All right, Infidel's put in his answer. Let's see if it's right as soon as I get done catching this guy. Bubag, I'm glad you like the new airport. It is a great airport, and I'll tell you, this airport has the best bathrooms of any airport I've been to. So if you need to take a squat, this is the airport to do it in. Straight up. All right, Infidel, let's check out the METAR skills. All right, so the latest report from Salt Lake, 2354Z. That's 454 local time, winds 010 at 8 knots. Visibility 10 statute miles, correct. Broken at 9,500. Altimeter 30.05. Sea level pressure 1018.5. Temperature 28 degrees. Oh, not quite. You had everything right except the temperature. The temperature is actually, true temperature is 0. So when we look at that, we need to think about, okay, what's the first number? The second number is 0. So if that's the case, then the true temperature is 2.8 degrees Celsius. So just keep that in mind. That first zero, it's kind of like 100th decimal. Babak, that's a great question. So they get it from the METAR. Their computer actually has the ability to log into a system remotely to get the weather. It's kind of cool. It's called ACARS. And then ACARS does a lot of other things. So Infidel, you had everything right except the temperature. So nice job. I'm sure that was just a little, fat fingering, but everything else, excellent job, sir. You are ready to dispatch. I give you my full approval. No worries, man. The kicker is, I'll tell you what, I'll give you 100% credit because the true temperature is so irrelevant because the temperature and the dew point are already there in the METAR. It's just, I don't know why they do that. I think it's just the system does that for preciseness, but I'll give you 100% on that. So winner, chicken dinner, sir. But everything else looks great. All right, so here is the real question. Broken at 9,500. You can talk to the pilots on the ground as a dispatcher. You absolutely can. All right, Infidel, one more question. What is, based on the current METAR and then now based on the forecast, what I'm looking at for Salt Lake, are you required to have an alternate? There's a good question. See, he can't escape me now, folks. He knows I've got him on the string. He has to answer. I'll take it too. I will make sure that I tell the pilots that Babag said hi. Absolutely. So we've got an A220. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. The likes and welcome. My name is Pip. We're broadcasting from Salt Lake City International Airport on the east side of the airport. And we're got about 15 minutes left in the broadcast before we close it down. No. No, you do not. That's correct. You are correct, sir. You do not legally require an alternate. Above minimums. Excellent. All right, man. You are comped out. No, I don't have to go through security. The parking lot is not through security. But Infidel, you are. I gave you my approval. You are now full-time dispatcher. You are comped out, sir. Actually, that's a good story. So when so I was a flight dispatcher for several years, folks, and a lot of people don't know about what a flight dispatcher does in the United States. But basically, they're like the pilot, the invisible pilot. They work in an operations center, and they help control the flight in every operation. So it's a pretty cool job. Highly recommend it. And I do a series of videos that you can check out on my channel. But anyways, yes, keep them coming. So anyways, so when I had to do my comp check at my first airline, it was a 2-day comp check. It was 10 hours of questions. I will. It was 10 hours of questions the first day, and then it was 10 hours of being observed by one of the comp checkers who is approved by the FAA, who also works at the airline. So it was a 2-day comp check. So it was very long. Not all airlines do that long, but you need to expect, no less than 2 days. So that's kind of interesting to point out. Yep. Yeah. Stephen, yeah. So Salt Lake's terminal is pretty new. It was built in 2020, and they're actually building a second phase for both Concourse A and B. So if you pan over to the left here, so this is we're panning a little further north. So this building right here, Stephen, and for those who are tuning in, this is the second part of Concourse A that's almost done being built. And this will be basically Delta's concourse, and then Concourse B will be built after this one is complete. So, yeah. But it is a new airport. It does have, like I said, in my opinion, the best bathrooms of any airport. But there is a lot of walking involved. I'll probably do another stream, Bubag, tomorrow at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, so Salt Lake time, or 16Z. That's right. You're exactly right, Infidel Fireman. Thank you for explaining that more succinctly. Yes, that is 100% right. I just like to when I first was looking into it, somebody I interviewed that I shadow, he said he's basically you're like an invisible captain. So nobody sees you, nobody knows you exist, but without the dispatcher, you can't complete the flight. You can't start the flight, and they're essential to the safety and operation of the flight, just like the piloting command. So, yeah. Oh, after the stream today. Okay. I'm probably going to go home and grab something to eat and then go to bed, because if we're doing a 9 a.m. broadcast, got to get my sleep in. So I'll probably go to bed soon, maybe 8 or 9 o'clock. South Carolina. I love South Carolina. What's going on, Wade? Thank you for saying hi. They are very nice mountains, especially when they're covered with snow. Infidel Fireman, you know what? See, this is the comment we get all the time. Stephen, yes, that is actually, I would say that is true. And predominantly, and I don't know if Max is still on the broadcast or not, but predominantly one of the main reasons that locals in Salt Lake don't like the new airport is because of all the walking. It's big and it's spacious, but you have to walk forever to get to some of your gates. In fact, got some action here. And while I'm tuning into that action with an A321neo and a SkyTeam livery, Stephen, from the terminal, so when you arrive at Salt Lake Airport, inside the baggage claim and the check-in area, from that point, you have to walk. And if you're flying in out of Concourse B, you have to walk close to a mile to get to your gate. And that's not an exaggeration. So it's basically like, yeah, it's a long distance. What I'm trying to think of the kilometers conversion. Well, my math's not that good, so I'll just leave it at it as is. But yeah, it's quite a walk, and that's really the main reason people don't like it. The other reason that they may have negative feelings towards Salt Lake Airport is a lot of the restaurants, they're not like fast-paced restaurants, they're sit down. So if you're trying to catch a flight and you have to sit down to order something, so that's part of the thing. So yeah, Infidel Fireman, yeah, you got to be prepared, man. If you're going to be in charge of flights and make good money, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with it. No, I'm actually the only one who lives out here, Babag. The rest of my family's back in Texas. So, little fun fact. All right, your Congo line facing Delta 702 headed to Boston on an A321neo. Delta 1353, the Sky Team livery on a 737-800. Next up, Delta 783, a Boeing 737-900. And then behind them is Delta 381 on a 737-900. Arriving on that E-175 that just went by is American 4880. Daniel, hello, sir. Thank you for saying hi. And thank you for the advice, Babag. All right, so we're going to catch this last string of liveries, departures. So we got four here, and then we'll finish up the broadcast for tonight. Oh, yeah, yeah. The half, it's 100% true. Yeah, it sucks. And so, yeah, to Steven's point, it's 100% true. It's a great view. Yes, it is. It is a great view, Steven. 100%. It's just getting able to sit down in time. So sweet. Thanks for saying hi, Lisa. So nice to meet you. And I would appreciate that. That would be super awesome. So have a good night, and we'll see you again soon. That'd be really cool. Yeah, Infidel. They I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know if they were thinking. I got to be honest. They don't even have like in DFW they have the SkyTrain. They don't have any of that. There's just an underground walkway. That's it. No tram, no train, nothing. Delta 702 right here, headed to Boston. So those are all Delta planes, Daniel. So Delta out here, if you've never seen Salt Lake International Airport, the Delta has a hub out here. So there are a lot of planes that fly out of here that are Delta. Oh, it's parked? Okay. Sorry, they kind of have the red tail both. That is a Northern Air Cargo 737-400, I believe, that they fly. So it says NAC. That's Northern Air Cargo. So that's a cargo airline. So yeah. All right. So this is our 737-800 Sky Team livery. Thank you, Infidel. Appreciate the backup. I'm talking to everybody. Infidel Fireman, one of our guests, and yeah, you got it, man. It's funny, Daniel. The other cargo, they all park north on the north end of the airport, like FedEx and UPS, but Northern Air Cargo always parks there. So it's kind of interesting. All right, so the 737-800 is headed to Dulles, Washington, D.C. Dulles. Clive, good to talk to you. Good to see you. And thanks for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow, most definitely. I'll be wearing my extra layer of socks. All right, Stephen. Yeah, get some rest. We'll see you again next time. 16Z is when we'll start tomorrow, I believe. So 16 Zulu. So basically, yeah, your time. The pilots cannot hear me talking. No, not unless they're tuning in their spare time. Thanks, Stephen. Take care. Have a good night. Get some rest, and we'll talk to you again. Appreciate you tuning in. All right, our last two departures for this broadcast. Pair of 737-900s. They are heading to Raleigh-Durham 783 and 381, headed to JFK and inbound. Looks like we've got another inbound. American. I think that's A319. I'll go with Phoenix on that. I'm just guessing here. but I know it's an A319 American. Typically taxi time from gate to runway, about, I would say probably on average about 10 minutes. 10 minutes on average. So taxi times aren't bad. It's just actually getting to your gate. All right, up first, 737-900 headed to Raleigh-Durham. I'll be heading out of here soon, Bubag. It's almost sunset. Probably in the next 20 minutes, hopefully, because my feet are cold. It's 38 degrees. We can do, what is it, 2.8 degrees Celsius, Infidel Fireman? So we'll go 3 degrees Celsius. Phoenix, okay. Thanks, Infidel. You're the man. I thought it would be. Just wasn't sure. Thanks for the likes, and I encourage you to subscribe and like. Subscribing is the best way that you'll find out where we're going to be broadcasting when. I know we'll be broadcasting beginning at 9 a.m. tomorrow, or 16Z. Stephen, yeah, not yet. That is an excellent question. Not yet. We, for some reason, I don't, we may, I would say we should start getting Virgin here hopefully soon. Nothing official yet, but no, we do not have British Airways or Virgin Atlantic yet. I'm hopeful we get one of the two soon, especially since Virgin Atlantic is now a member of SkyTeam. But right now, our only international carriers are Air Canada Express, Aero Mexico Connect, KLM, and Eurowings Discover. Yeah, man, it's a nice short flight. That's one of my favorite flights. I am not indoors, Bubag. I am 100% outdoors. You get it, Daniel. So Infidel Fireman, I don't know if you can tell, but like as the sun has been setting, like the camera will it'll blur up, and that's what I'm talking about. So when it becomes night, it's just difficult. It doesn't have the ISO to really, and this lens isn't the best either with the f-stop. So you got to be careful when you're doing it at night. So you have to have a lot of natural light. So you can't zoom in too far. So that's the only catch with this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what an awesome broadcast today. Thank you so much for coming in. And each one of you, encourage you to like and subscribe. But unless my computer blows up or something else, we'll be on the air at 9 a.m. tomorrow. And thank you, NextJet. Thank you for inviting your friends and your mom to come on. It was awesome. Yeah, Infidel, we'll take care. We will talk to everybody 9 a.m. tomorrow. And if you have a question for me in the meantime, you can message me always at 23 Right Productions on Instagram. That's just at the numbers 23, the letter R Productions. So it's easy enough. What time? Tomorrow it'll be 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time or 16 Zulu, Daniel. So I may do actually a video later tonight just to remind everybody who didn't get a chance to tune in. So for now, though, I will say good night, goodbye. Let's get some rest and look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody. Be safe and be healthy. It is Pip signing off. See ya.